Hello everybody! In this guitar lesson I'm going to teach you to play one of Paul McCartney's most beautiful love songs. Here, there and everywhere from the Beatles' 1966 Revolver album. And we'll start by looking at the chords to the introduction. So the introduction starts on a single downstroke on the chord of G major. 2-liter, then we go to B minor, better life, single downstroke there too. Then there's a beautiful change of chord, we're going to B flat. I need my love to be. Now we go to A minor 7, here, then to D7. And that A minor 7 there, you want to finger it like this with your little finger on the top string there, 3rd fret. Then when you go to the D7, that's 1 fret lower there. Okay, so we go from the G on the top string to the F sharp on the top string. So the intro then is like this. To lead a better life, I need my love to be here. Now the first half of the verse is built around a lovely 4-chord progression. G major to A minor to B minor to C major. And it repeats twice, like this. Here, making each day of the year, changing my life with her. Now, there's a lovely little right hand technique you can use when you're playing that chord progression, which involves the thumb and the index finger. And I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay then, let's look at the right hand technique that we're going to use in this song. Now, I'm going to demonstrate it for you first using the 4-chord progression that begins the verse. G major to A minor to B minor to C major. All right. I'm going to play it for you slowly and then I'll break it down and tell you what I'm doing. But here it is played slowly. Okay then, so let me explain that. I'll put my fingers into the G major chord on the left hand there. And all you're going to do here is you're going to play 2 bass strings with your thumb. And for the G major, it's string 6 and then string 5. And then with your index finger, you can do a flick downwards, focusing on the 3 treble strings, strings 3, 2, 1. So put that together, we have string 6, string 5, treble strings. Okay, so thumb, thumb, flick down with the index finger like that. Now when you get to the A minor, the B minor and the C major, it's exactly the same except that the 2 bass strings you'll play are strings 5 and 4 rather than strings 6 and 5. Okay, so for the A minor, B minor and C major we're going to play string 5, string 4 and then our flick down. Alright, and actually when you get to the rest of the song you find you can use that little right hand technique throughout the song really, apart from probably the introduction and right at the end of each verse where you play that D7, that's just 2 downstrokes, all right? Other than that, you can use it throughout the song. All that will vary is the bass strings you play, all right? Now, if you look in the description of the video, have a look there, and in the description, I've put which bass strings to play for each chord. All right then, what I'm going to do then is give you a chance to practice that little right hand technique along with me. I'll give you a count of 4 and then we'll play through that 4-chord progression, G to A minor to B minor to C major twice, and we'll do it slowly. Here's your count of 4 then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the second half of the verse now then. The first half of the verse ended like this. Changing my life with her. And the second half is going to start with us cycling between two chords, F sharp minor 7 and B7. Now you can play those both barred at the second fret, which is the best way to do this, I think. So you're going to cycle between those two chords twice, like this. Wave of a hand, nobody can do. And then on deny, on the second syllable of deny, you go to E minor. Deny that there's. Then you go to A minor, something. And then we're going to end the verse in the same way that we ended the introduction. We're going to go from A minor 7 there, with that little finger there on the top string 3rd fret, to D7. Okay, so let's just run through the second half of the verse then. Wave of a hand, nobody can deny that there's something there. And then you go into the second verse. I'm going to show you the bridge for Here, There and Everywhere next, but just before I do that, let me say, if you've been enjoying this video and you found it useful, please do hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet subscribed, so that you'll be given a notification of all the future videos that I release. And please consider joining the channel as a member. Now, this is very economic. It's pretty cheap to join, but if you do that, you'll get special access to all of the new videos that I release early. So it's well worth doing that. It also supports me as well and helps me to afford to create more of these guitar lessons. So please do consider joining the channel. Okay, let's have a look at the bridge next. Here, There and Everywhere has got a lovely little bridge that comes in after the second verse and again after the third verse of the song. Now, before I show you the bridge, let me just explain that the ending of the second verse and the third verse are slightly different to the way that the first verse ends, to enable us to get to that bridge. So the first verse ends with an A minor 7 and then 2 downstrokes on a D7. But when we go into the bridge on the second verse and also on the third verse, it's slightly different. We still have the A minor 7, but we only have 1 downstroke on the D7, and then we have a single downstroke on an F major. And that leads us into the bridge. I want to. Okay. Once we get into the bridge, we go to a B flat major. Everywhere, then G minor, and if, then C minor, she's beside me, then D7, I know I need, back to G minor, never care, back to C minor again, for to need her, D7 is to love her. And then we're back into the next verse. Everywhere, knowing that love is to share, and so on. Let's look at the ending of the song now then. The fourth and final verse finishes like this. Watching her eyes and hoping I'm always there, I will be. Now, we're going to end the song with 2 iterations of the G to A minor to B minor to C chord progression, and we'll cap it off with a G major on the end of that to finish. So it will sound like this. There